metres, which is our double European Championship winning discipline, and that she was in good form in qualifying for the quarterfinals of her favoured event. But as we've seen, anything can happen when you're reaching speeds of up to 30 miles an hour on the track while staying on your blades and trying to get ahead of other skaters. So this kind of collision can happen. So tonight that medal dream is over for Elise Christie from Livingston, and she will not be going through to the final.
OK, Jackie, thanks very much. A petition to save a former Edinburgh resident who's been sentenced to death in Pakistan has almost 30,000 signatures. 68-year-old Mohammad Ashgar, who has a history of mental illness, was convicted of blasphemy for declaring himself a prophet. The petition calls on the Scottish and Westminster governments to intervene to bring him home. The petition was organised by the Scottish Secular Society. Its chair is Caroline Lynch.
Mr. Ashgar is a diagnosed schizophrenic. He has had mental health problems his entire life, and he's been in prison since 2010. Now, very recently, he had a trial for the blasphemy. And during that trial, his own legal team were fired by the judge, so he wasn't given proper legal representation. And evidence of his mental health issues was not accepted by the judge during the trial. He was convicted of blasphemy and he was sentenced to death. He's still in prison in Pakistan at the moment, and he is awaiting an appeal, but the appeal could take 5 years.
What kind of diplomatic efforts then are underway to try to get him back here?
Mr. Cameron has said that the Foreign Office is talking to the delegation in Pakistan, to the administration there, and in efforts to get him released. But obviously, they're not giving out much information on that. We've had contact from Alex Salmond's office as well, saying that they are also in contact with the Pakistani authorities to try and get him released. But it's diplomatic channels, and you don't know what's being said behind the scenes. But to date, it seems as if it's not bearing any fruit whatsoever. And in the meantime, Mr. Ashgar is becoming more and more unwell in prison, and there are serious concerns that he will die long before his appeal is heard.
What are the health concerns then at the moment?
The most recent reports from the jail are that he is barely lucid, barely conscious, shaking, emaciated, extremely unwell. He's in a shared cell as well with 16 other inmates, and there are concerns for his safety. Obviously, there are factions within Islamic society who take a very dim view of anyone who disrespects Islam. So there are serious concerns that he may be targeted by Islamists.
Now, you've got this petition going. You've got almost 30,000 signatures. What do you hope that will achieve?
We intend to submit this to Mr. Cameron, to Mr. Salmond, and also to the Pakistani authorities, so that they know that this is not simply a case of the diplomatic channels being upset by this, that this is ordinary people. There's been an outcry from Muslim societies in the UK. We've actually had support from the Catholic Church and the Free Church of Scotland on this. This is something that goes across all groups and all beliefs, and everyone finds this repugnant. Blasphemy is a completely outdated notion anyway. Nobody should face charges for blasphemy in this day and age in any society. But specifically to target an elderly, frail, sick man like this is absolutely abhorrent. And we need to send a clear message to not just to Pakistan, but to every society which still has blasphemy laws, that you cannot continue like this. This is about personal liberty and freedom of speech and freedom of belief and freedom of faith. And I find it difficult to believe that any faith is so fragile that it cannot tolerate somebody disagreeing with it.
Caroline Lynch from the Scottish Secular Society.